As far back as I can remember, being a kid, my life was on survival mode. I dealt with abuse and I witnessed my mom being abused by my dad. There were nights where we would wake up in the middle of the night and no one would be home and the front door would be wide open. It was just like traumatizing to witness those things.
By the time she was 11, she was being raised with her 4 siblings by their single mom. Marguerite's mom struggled with drug use, and within a short period of time, they lost everything. Her mom would take off for days, leaving them without any food.
We didn't really have much family that could, that was willing to take us in, so we all kind of went our own way, and I eventually, was more involved into my relationship at the time that I was in, and I really didn't let myself process losing my mom or really thought about, the things that I had just went through.
By the 11th grade, she welcomed her first baby girl. She never knew that she could love another human being so much, but being a mother was an amazing feeling for her. Her thoughts were, I would be the best mom possible. Being a single mom, bouncing from place to place, was not the life Marguerite had imagined. She would get jobs, but the money she earned was not enough to afford housing. Marguerite had more children and knew extreme poverty was not the ideal environment to raise her family. Her circumstances and the need to provide for her family led her to sex work, which ultimately led to her incarceration.
I am forced to give my kids to this lady that I have no idea who she is and if my kids are going to be taken care of or where they're going to go. So, gosh, I remember when they put me in the next room when my kids were taken, that I literally just laid down and I was like, dang, what did I do and how did I get where I am right now? I just felt like, I just felt like a piece of shit mom.
Fortunately, she had never been in any trouble before and was given probation and released into homelessness after 6 months. Marguerite was feeling hopeless and lost when she remembered a woman who had come inside her jail to speak before. She desperately searched through her things to fortunately come across Kim Carter's business card.
I had went to actually one of my classes when I was incarcerated, and Miss Carter was there, and she just said all the right things, and it just sounded like there was hope. And I remember thinking, like, I am going to call this lady when I get out because I need their help, and they're all for getting reunifying with your kids, and just if you want change, and that's what I wanted. I really wanted to really work on myself and try to be the best that I know that I am. And I got out, I contacted Time for Change, and actually it's funny because I got denied when I first came. And I remember Miss Carter saying, if I was still in contact with my kids' dad, and I was honest, and I told her, and she said, you aren't ready for change yet. So I remember it was probably about a couple of months later, and I finally was approved. I thought about it when, Miss Carter told me you weren't ready for change, and, thinking that I was doing the right thing by following court orders, I really had to cut all cords and do what I needed to do for myself and my kids.
Time for Change Foundation provided her with a home that was dignified. It was a place where she could rebuild her life with the support she needed. She was accepted into the Brighter Futures program in February 2021. Her programming was intensive and focused on helping her transform her life for the better.
They get you set, and you are, whatever recommendations these courts have for you, Time for Change makes it work. Even if they don't have the class for you, they will pay for other services for you to get what you need to get done for you to get your kids back in. When I experienced that, and when I got all that, one-on-ones with my case manager, and just to, try to find ways for me to better myself. A lot of times in our class, when I would talk, and share my story, and I would kind of dread to, tell it. And, someone would, say to me, like, Margaret, what you said is something I can definitely relate to, and thank you for sharing. And I didn't think, at first, sharing my story could help anybody. At first it was like hard for me to share it. But then when I realized that there was other people out there that can relate to what I've went through, it made me feel so much better telling my story. And when I would hear other people's stories, I get feedback from them, and it's like we all could use something from each other, and we all can learn something from each other. And when I really started letting myself be involved in the classes that Time for Change had, I actually really started changing a lot more. At first I thought I changed a lot when I was incarcerated, and really majority of my change came from being part of this program. And mentally, physically, emotionally, I really wouldn't be who I am today if it wasn't for this program. And I am forever thankful for that.
Marguerite's case manager, Tyra, reached out to her social worker to provide all the necessary information, and within a week was given her first overnight visit with all 4 of her kids. Everything was in place for Marguerite, and she held her breath as she awaited the court's decision to give her kids back. Then, on March 4th, 2021, Marguerite learned that her 2 older children were back in her custody, and they were dropped off immediately.
For a little second, I sometimes would think maybe I won't get my 2 youngest back, and maybe they'll only give me my 2 oldest. And I just never gave up, and I never ever let my thoughts, my negative thoughts, affect my ability to keep moving forward, and to stay focused, and just to finally do something different that I never done. Because I would always get in my head, and I would always self-doubt myself, and I just never let myself do that. And I was reunified with my 2 youngest and that was an amazing feeling, that finally I can put that past me.
Today, Marguerite is optimistic and knows that she has the support system she needs to create a better future for her and her kids.
I am actually just waiting for a call to let me know my move-in date. And at first I was so nervous leaving the program, because I've gotten so used to having case managers, to having on-site support. And Miss Carter let me know, you are ready, and I kind of self-doubted myself. But when I really let myself see everything that I have done and worked hard for, I knew that I will be okay now, with everything that I have learned, everything that Time for Change has helped me with, and helped me to really get to know myself and have worked so hard in, trying to fix those things that I know that I needed to work on. And for the first time, I actually feel the happiest I've ever felt in my life. And I am single with my 4 kids, and I couldn't be happier than what I am right now. And, I'm just so excited what my future has in store for me and my kids.
Marguerite's story is just beginning.
I definitely have to thank Miss Carter for, always being there, for helping me to see the things that I didn't see in myself, and to push me, to be the best that I know that I can be. And, I definitely got to thank Aisha too for helping me and just being there when I needed, just someone to hear me, someone to give me some advice, and, for the whole foundation of Time for Change, everyone that just has made it possible for me to have all my kids back, and to be able to start my new chapter in my life. Thank you.